So yesterday we started to examine another detail, another nuance in this medrash. Medrash says that not only did Hashem show Moshe Rabbeinu a coin of fire, and he take the coin of fire out of the throne of glory, but more, the coin of fire had the weight of a half shekel. Miracle within a miracle, this coin had this weight of a half shekel. We want to understand what the meaning of that was. So we learned yesterday was, Moshe Rabbeinu's question was, how is it possible the Jewish people are going to be atoned just by giving a coin? What about this coin is going to do anything for them? And we expanded the question, and we explained that Moshe Rabbeinu's question was actually not just a question, but his question actually presented a point that required something new to happen. They required, sometimes in the Gemara you have a question, and the Gemara gives an answer which says, hey, something you're missing, you didn't know something. Sometimes there's a question in the Gemara which knocks off the previous answer and requires the Gemara to give a brand new answer. In a similar way, there's something that happened because of the sin of the golden calf. They required something new to happen, for Hashem to do something that wasn't done before. The sin of the golden calf caused something very wrong to happen to the Jewish people. It caused Jewish people to be cut off from Hashem. So ordinarily, you could say a person does a sin, so they should reveal something deeper in themselves, which wasn't affected. But here, they were affected in the very core, it would seem. And they were. The sin of the golden calf is a sin that's punishable by death, and therefore there was something that cut them off from their life. But that's only the way they are as souls and bodies. But if we talk about the essence of the soul of a Jew, which is also the essence of what's in the body, is one with Hashem, and can never be tarnished, can never be hurt, can never be blemished. It's always pure. That's the meaning of the coin of fire. The coin of fire means the essence of the neshama, and that's why it comes from the throne of glory. All souls originate from the throne of glory. So the coin of fire from the throne of glory means how every soul originates from God. But the way the souls originate from God seems to be different the way we are here. And it is different. There's a way we are originally in Gershon Lagarella Kol V'Sholom. Never forget one Farbrengen, springed all night, and he comes out on Kingston Avenue. I don't remember if he was wearing his shoes at this point. But he's looking at Kingston Avenue, it was snowing. He's looking at the Kingston Avenue, he's looking at the snow. Kingston Avenue is muddy, it's dirty. And he says, look, snow, it's white, it's pure, it comes from heaven. And here, what do we have? We have mud. There is, the soul
nice
comes
to hear
from
that
heaven.
story nice to hear that story from you every 3 months. It's great.
The soul comes from the Eibishter, it's pure, it's holy, etc. But is that the way we are here? So Eibishter doesn't just say we have the soul, we have the essence of the soul, it's one with him. But Hashem revealed, he took it out from the throne of glory and he made it have a definite weight in this world, which means that there's something that that actually is changed in this world. There's something that has weight here in the world that comes from the essence of the soul. It reminds me of what the previous Rebbe says about the first line of chapter 2 in Tanya. Chapter 2 in Tanya begins, the second soul of a Jew is an actual part of God. The word actual, mamish, also means something you could touch with your fingers. So mamish, a part of God, means it's really spiritual, it's really holy, it's really up there, so to speak. But touching something with your fingers means it's really down here. So Friedrich Rebbe said, because the essence of the neshama is one with the Eibishter, it's so close to Hashem, it's so holy. So as we know, the famous Hasidic concept, whatever has a higher source can reach a lower place. Because the soul's incredible bond with Hashem, therefore it's able to have an impact here in this world. Whereas Meditchev Rebbe said, Meditchev Rebbe famously asked the question, Hashem, what do you want from the Jewish people? You put all the pleasures of this world in front of our eyes, and you put the heaven and hell in the Sefer, Reishis Chachma. So what do you want? The heaven and hell are in a book, and pleasures of the world in front of our eyes. I promise you, Hashem, if you would put the pleasures of the world in the Sefer, Reishis Chachma, and you put heaven and hell in front of our eyes, you'd have different results. That's what the Rebbe said. I don't know the source of this, but I heard the Rebbe once address this, and sorry, I can't find the source. And the Rebbe said that the reason why it's fair, okay, it's a good claim to say to Hashem, but why, from our perspective, what evens out the balance is that the essence and neshama has such a powerful bond with Hashem. Therefore, despite the fact that heaven and hell are not in front of our eyes, and only the pleasures of the world in front of our eyes, still the neshama is so attached to the Eibishter that things even out. Because the neshama is mamish part of Hashem, therefore it is able to impact us here in this world. But not just that it's able to impact us, but here what happens is Hashem takes the throne, the coin of fire out of the throne of glory, and it makes it have weight in this world. That means that not only is the neshama being active in this world, but having weight means something which is heavy, something which is undesirable, something which weighs down on you. Some people, they do mitzvahs with lots of passion and excitement, and they gave donations to the Mishkan. And Moshe Rabbeinu wondered about that, and Hashem still told him, I'm asking people to do what they can do, and therefore that's important to me. So Moshe understands that Jews are doing what they're able to do. That's important to Hashem. Okay, that makes sense. By the coin over here, Moshe had a question. Why did he have a question? Because over here, the Jewish people are doing something that they don't want to do. No, if you don't want to give the coin, you still are forced to give the coin. That means that what's impactful about the coin is not the good desire of some people. What's impactful about the coin is just the act of giving the coin. And therefore, Moshe Rabbeinu is wondering, what is so special about giving a coin that you're forced to give in the first place? You don't want to give it. It's just a weighty burden on you. You want to get over with, and you don't want to do. You don't want to do it all. You're saying, don't do this. I don't want to give my half coin. It's my half coin. When I was 9 years old, the half coin was very special because you could play pole position in the pharmacy around the corner. Two quarters. Are you kidding? You give it to what do you want to say, Dr. Ressman?
So how does that compare, this essence, to concepts like justice and chesed and things like this that don't have a physical weight attached to them?
The idea of the physical weight is something which is that you don't want to do. And Hashem is saying, it's weighty, it's heavy, I don't want to do it. So even though you don't want to do it, Hashem is saying to you, your coin of fire, the essence of your neshama, I'm connecting this, and it's going to animate this action. I look at your coin of fire, I look at your physical coin you're giving unwillingly, you don't want to do it, and Hashem says, I see in that, and I reveal in that the core of your neshama. You give me I'll force you to give me that coin, and I'll raise you, in the language of the casinos, and I'll raise you to the essence of your neshama. You give the coin, Hashem says, and I see in that coin the essence of your neshama. You just think, I don't want to do it, it's worthless. What's the point of this? Hashem says it's not worthless. In your act of giving the coin, which is weighty on you, which is heavy for you, Hashem says, I see the essence of your neshama.
But you can't attach, I'm sorry, you can't attach that same forcefulness to the obligations of being kind or being, tzedakah or...
Forcefulness is not a virtue over here.
Yeah.
Forcefulness means that I don't want to do it and I hate it. And Hashem says, despite the fact that you hate it, I'm going to bring your neshama into it. You're asking, does this affect other mitzvahs as well? Let's see. Is this also true for other mitzvahs too? Or is this only true for this mitzvah? But the forcefulness thing isn't a virtue. We're not saying because we gave it against our will, therefore it's so valuable. We're saying despite the fact we gave it against our will, despite there's no generosity there, Hashem says, I see in that I'm going to reveal it and I attach to that and the essence of your neshama.
I'm talking about the fact that this is an idea. And essence is an idea, but now this essence is more than an idea. It has a physical existence, just like a stone or a rock or a diamond, whereas chesed and other things don't have this physical manifestation in this world. They're just ideas.
Let's discuss your question later. Let's go further right now. So hold on for a second. Let's go to page 418, page Eisir Aleph. Based upon all that we said till now, we'll be able to understand the two ideas that we find in the half coin. Number one, One concept of the half coin is that the act of giving this coin is considered like a sacrifice and it atones for your neshama. That's one thing. Another thing that this half coin does is that another thing about this half coin is that it has to be specifically this currency. It's considered a sacrifice. It's one concept. It's a sacrifice. And a second concept about the half coin is it has to be this specific currency. And both of these points, the fact that it's considered like a sacrifice and the fact that it has to have a certain currency for it to be valid, for it to work, both are because the half coin is related to the essence of the neshama. The essence of the neshama is above division. It's not something which has a definition, that it's a certain kind of thing with a certain kind of color and characteristic. The essence of the neshama is beyond any precise definition. So it's understood the way you give the half coin, since it's from the essence of the neshama, how should you give it? You should give it bevas achas. You have to give it all in one installment. You can't divide it. Since the half coin is about the essence of your neshama, since the half coin comes from the throne of glory, the coin of fire comes from the essence of your neshama, and the essence of your neshama is undivisible, as Baal Shem Tov said. It's in the simplicity of a simple Jew, you see the simplicity of God's essence. There's something about the essence of neshama which is undefined, and therefore since it can't be defined, it can't be categorized. Therefore, the way you give the half coin also has to be uncategorized, without installments. And that's also the reason why what should you give? It's not the value, not the amount that you're giving. Rather, you have to give the quality, the currency of a half coin. Just like the essence of neshama is something which has no division and it's undefined, and so too, what you give to Hashem cannot have installments, can't be given, can't be cut up in parts. And what Hashem wants you to do is give something which is associated with quality, with a certain kind of thing, not with quantity, not with amount. It's not something which can be measured. And that's why the achievement of the half shekel is similar to fire. We learned earlier that just like when a non-kosher plate is immersed in fire, it becomes kosher again. So too, by giving the half coin, yes, the Jewish people had blemished themselves to the point that they deserved the death penalty, but by giving the half coin, the essence of the neshama, the fire of the neshama was revealed in them in a way that they become a new entity, that their heart is different, their mind is different, their persona is different. It's not just that they have the half coin, but the half coin works in a way, not just they have the fire of the neshama, but the fire of the neshama causes there to be a new entity in this world, that they stop being what they were before and they become people who are brand new. When the essence of the neshama is revealed, the Rebbe Rashab puts it this way: so you can have a guy going to the stake. A Jew is chas v'shalom being threatened. Either you give up your Jewishness and embrace Christianity, or you die. And the Jew goes to the stake and he says, "I'm not doing this." And they say, "Okay, no, we changed your mind. You're free to go." There actually was a famous story about a Jew. I'm getting the whole story right now, but this Jew had taught this non-Jewish boy about the value of sacrifice, because this non-Jewish boy ended up being in his class as a child. And in order to gift the Jew, his teacher who had taught him so much about how sacrifice is so great, he later on in life pretended, as he was raised to a position of nobility, and he was able to sentence his Jew to death if he would not give up his religion. And he was told the Jew he's going to give him a spoon of hot coals. And at the last moment, the Jew is given a spoonful of honey instead of a spoonful of hot coals. He says, "What are you doing?" He said, "You taught us how special it is to give your life to serve Hashem. I wanted you to have that value." The Rebbe Rashab said, it is very valuable. It is something infinite. It's something incredible. But after that guy had that spoon of honey, do you think he became a tzaddik? He did, to a certain extent. He may have gone right away to McDonald's to celebrate and have a cheeseburger. That's possible. But there's something about having sacrifice that changes every part of you. A person who's been to Chas V'Shalom, Honoldslan, to Auschwitz, they may not be religious, but there's some kind of refinement that envelops them, even if they say they don't believe and whatever. But when you have sacrifice, it does something to every part of you. In a similar way, because the essence of the neshama is revealed in the Jew, there's a different Jew here. Because there's a fire, just like you take the china, put in the fire, it's now considered new china, so too in the essence of the neshama is revealed in the Jew, which is what Hashem did through the half coin. He took the fire, the essence of the neshama, and he brought it to have weight and to have impact here in this world. So too, so it caused the Jewish people's persona, their hearts and minds to become different. Calling in the bottom of page 418, Osid Beis, this whole event of Hashem showing the coin of fire was all after Moshe Rabbeinu did what's called, I call it a double stare, but it really is much more than a double stare. Moshe Rabbeinu jumped backwards when he heard Hashem say they should give a coin to atone for them. Like Moshe Rabbeinu said, "What? How is this possible?" That's when Hashem showed him the coin of fire. What's the meaning of that part of the story? Why did Moshe have to jump backwards for this to happen? It's specifically when the level of Moshe Rabbeinu, the level of the wisdom of holiness, gets shocked. And it can't understand Moshe Rabbeinu's attribute was wisdom, the wisdom of Hashem, the wisdom of holiness. And Moshe Rabbeinu is shocked. He can't understand how could a physical external deed achieve such atonement. That inspired, so to speak, Hashem to reveal and to show in this world the fire of the neshama in the weight of the half coin. In other words, because of Moshe Rabbeinu's question, because Moshe Rabbeinu was so, he phrased Hashem, "What are you saying, Hashem? What about their action is doing anything?" That caused Hashem to respond to Moshe when the wisdom of holiness says this doesn't make any sense. So Hashem's response was to make it happen and to reveal how, yes, I want to show you, Moshe Rabbeinu, that in the physical action of a Jew, although it seems like it's just the external physical action, there is in the physical action the essence in the neshama. This is the message, which is a message for each of us. Sometimes a person does not feel pleasure and enjoyment in his Torah mitzvahs. David LaBelle, stick around. A Jew doesn't feel his pleasure in his mitzvahs. What does he do? He does it out of habit because body out of soul just goes through the motions. And sometimes it seems, Dr. Ressman, there was your question, sometimes it seems like a burden. All mitzvahs, they seem like a big burden. He has to do it like a servant who has no choice. I got to show up and do what Hashem told me to do. All of that, you got to know. Next page, it's so you're trying to do Torah mitzvahs. You don't see how this has any value for you. Zev, you awake? Listen to this. Zev is talking to us. You hear what Zev is saying? You don't see, you're doing mitzvahs, you're learning Torah because you got it. And you don't want to. And you're doing it anyways. And you're wondering, what in the world am I doing this for? It's just valueless. It's empty. So there's a Moses in you, there's wisdom in you, which turns to Hashem and says, Hashem, why are you telling me to do this? What does this do for you? And it's just like Moshe jumps back. He's like, shocked. What is this about? So too, it's possible for a Jew to turn to Hashem and he says, Hashem, why are you asking me to do this? What's important about this for you? So when that happens, and a Jew says to the Eibishter, help me over here. I don't see where the value is. So the Eibishter responds to you, and Hashem responds to the Moses in you, which says, Hashem, I don't understand why I need to do this. And Hashem reveals in you the fire of your neshama in a way that's revealed. By Jew, it's similar to what I ever said about, all familiar with the empty vessels. I'm going to review that point, but when a Jew feels he's stuck, it's all empty, and he asks Hashem, help me out over here. So Hashem responds to the Jew and he reveals the essence and the neshama in a way that has impact in a revealed way inside of you. All of a sudden, that puts you in touch with your neshama. That's the first message. First message is you have a question, you turn to Hashem, you ask for help. And the Eibusher helps you, and the Eibusher gives you your neshama, gives you some soul in what you're doing. That's the first point. Tzad Sheni, there's another point. We also have a lesson on the flip side, before the neshama is revealed. When there's a Jew who is acting in a way that's inappropriate for a child of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, you have to try to bring that Jew to be closer to your mitzvahs. But there's also those that ask the question, how can you tell such a Jew to put on tefillin? Or tell him to read the Shema? He doesn't understand what he's doing. He's putting on the tefillin, he's saying the Shema, he has no idea what he's doing. There's no desire to do it. What's the point of making him put on tefillin? He's just a polite person. It's hard for him to refuse you because you're saying, do it for me, such a favor for me, and he's so polite he can't refuse you. What's the point of him doing something which is meaningless to him? He feels that being polite is important, therefore do it for your sake. But the act of tefillin, putting on tefillin, is meaningless. So what's the point of making him do it? According to their opinion, things should be different. But explain to the guy, step after step, this is what they say, day after day. Next column, explain to him until he's convinced in his mind that mitzvahs need to be done. Once he understands how valuable it is to do a mitzvah, then he'll want to do a mitzvah. Go step by step with it. And that's what they say. What does Hashem respond to those people who have that question? This is what we are told from the mitzvah of the half coin. Dr. Bressman, when a Jew does a mitzvah, any mitzvah, and he does it in a way that it's a weight on him, he doesn't want to do it. There's no desire in it, there's no pleasure in it. He's forcing him to himself to do it. Hashem shows this Jew and he tells him, this action that you're doing is really for me. Hashem says, I consider this a coin of fire. I see in your action, Hashem says, this is the essence of your neshama. It comes from your true desire. Your true desire to do the will of Hashem. This is a mitzvah. Sometimes, I remember I'm trying, one time I put on film with somebody, and the guy interrupted the putting on film with something so like off color, middle of putting on film. And then now what's halacha say if someone talks in the middle of putting on film? What's halacha say? Halacha says if you talk about the middle of putting on film, it's another bracha when you put on the head film. But in my chassidically challenged head, I was thinking, he doesn't really say the other bracha. I mean, I have to say the bracha if I speak, but he doesn't get the whole thing. This is the first bracha didn't mean anything. The second bracha certainly won't mean anything. So what's the point? But that's only looking at things with very fleshy eyes. As Hashem told Shmuel, he went to anoint David HaMelech, and he thought Eliyav, the oldest son of Shaul, he looks so handsome, so beautiful, and so tall. He must be the next king of Israel. I'm sorry, it was not by, it was by Shaul, by Shaul. So no. Sorry, David. Yes. So Hashem told Shmuel, "Al tavet amarei." Don't look at his appearance. That's not the king. The same way you look at a Jew, and like this guy, he doesn't get it. So the Eibusher has a whole different way of looking at it. The Eibusher says, "I see in his action the essence of his neshama." So from your perspective, when you're doing mitzvahs, you feel I'm doing dry things. Hashem help me. Your Moses inside of you, your wisdom inside of you, saying, "What am I doing this for? Hashem help me out. I want to feel something." So Eibusher shows you the fire. That's in you when you ask Hashem for that help. And conversely, when there's another person you put on film with, and you don't see any fire there, there's no magic there. There's no magic. all you see is an action. So the Eibusher says to you, there is magic here. There's a coin of fire happening here. But Adarab, it's exactly opposite of what you think. When you help another Jew do a mitzvah in a way that's, so to speak, coerced. Of course, it's not really coerced. As the Rebbe once said, that every Jew has to be a candle to give light, but don't use the weight of the candle. Use the light of the candle. Yeah, coercing. You're trying to persuade them from your heart. Words that come from the heart, into the heart. So when you're trying to help a person do a mitzvah, and he's doing it because he just wants to be polite, he feels like, okay, I should have to, because you're asking me. Since the real reason he's doing it is because of the fire of his neshama, that will cause that the coin of fire, the essence of the neshama, will be revealed in every other part of the neshama until it has a weight, until it has an impact on the physical things that he does, so that the essence of the neshama was going to be revealed in this person. That's what he's going to want. That's what he's going to enjoy. He's just doing a mitzvah because he wants to be polite to you. But this will cause the fire of his neshama to come out, and this will become something that he enjoys and likes. And eventually, he will do this mitzvah, the whole fire of his neshama. You guys listening to this, right? But this is something you've all experienced. You all experienced this. The first time that shliach put on film with you, like, what the heck? Okay, he makes him feel good if it floats his boat. But now you put on film, and it's something different, right? You're doing it, and you wouldn't want to do. You can't miss this. You can't miss this. This is your thing. But you see the fire of your neshama in that. And just the fact that you can't consider going anywhere without that film, it tells you something about you, what you like, what you want to do. But and by doing this, by reaching out to other people and helping them do mitzvahs, which really every mitzvah comes from the fire of the neshama, and eventually that fire will be revealed. This will also bring to the offering of sacrifices in the Beis Hamikdash, just like the half coin was used to purchase sacrifices. So, by helping people do mitzvahs, even though it seems that it's not connected to them, this will bring about the coming of Mashiach and the building of the third Beis Hamikdash. And when it says about the third Beis Hamikdash, that Hashem will build it with fire, and Hashem says, "I will become a wall of fire on Yerushalayim." Okay. Any questions? Dr. Preston, if I didn't answer your question, let's go for your question. Yeah, everything makes sense or no? I'll unmute you. I can unmute you. You have to unmute yourself. Anybody else have any questions? Until Dr. Bressman manages to yes, Zev.
So pretty much we must do every mitzvah like beating the Kohen? Or that essence that they bring out by beating the Kohen happens in every mitzvah, even though we don't have kavanah or know what we're doing or are in one of those moods that we want nothing to do with it.
Which Kohen are you talking about?
I'm sorry, when the Kohen beats the guy to divorce his wife or something like that.
The Bezdin. Yeah. So I'm saying the opposite. I'm saying if you find yourself doing mitzvahs in a way that you're feeling like you're being coerced to the mitzvahs, the just like Moshe Rabbeinu did a double stare and he jumped back and he said to Hashem, "What is this about?" Hashem wants you to turn to Hashem and say, "Hashem, help me out over here. I don't feel anything in my mitzvahs." Schwartziel V'Shalom was told by the Rebbe that the most important mitzvah, the most important blessing Shemana Esther to concentrate on is Hashivenu. It's having the Eibusher say, "Hashem, help me do tshuva. Help me feel what's going on over here. Help me be part of this." Hashivenu v'Yisrael. That's where you have to concentrate on davening. So when you turn to the Eibusher, says, "Hashem, give me kavanah, give me feeling, I have it in Hashem, but I don't feel it. It feels all empty." So the Eibusher responds, and Hashem reveals your corner fire. When you act like Moses and you say, "I don't understand this, Hashem," so Hashem says, "Okay, I'll show this to you. I will give you the coin of fire." You know the story with Rabbi Rudolph's brother, Rabbi Rudolph Shalom's brother. Famous story. It was printed. Jem published it like 4 years ago. He was studying yeshiva in Kfar Chabad, and he was having a very hard time with his Yiddishkeit. He didn't break Yiddishkeit, but he just felt it was a waste of time. And he spoke to the various Hasidic mentors in the yeshiva, and they all told him various things, and it didn't satisfy him. he said he didn't break the rules, but he could tell like this guy is just doesn't fit in. He's off kilter. He's not part of the. What he found out later was that every single letter that Rebbe wrote to Rabbi Kesselman, who was the Mashpia of the yeshiva, how is this boy doing? How is this boy doing? One day, he didn't know this, but one day, all of a sudden, it clicked. And the Mashpia saw that the guy is like into it. He's davening. He's kissing his tzitzis. He says, how's it going? He says, it's wonderful. It's amazing. I love it. He says, write a letter to the Rebbe right away. Right now, go to the mikveh, write a letter to the Rebbe right away. Why do you want to write? He wanted to write a letter to the Rebbe right away. He found out later it's because the Rebbe was waiting for this. So many months, the Rebbe was davening. Moshe Rabbeinu was davening. Let the fire of the neshama be revealed in this person, and it worked, and it went in, and that's the way we have to approach our own service of Hashem. If we're not getting it, when that's clicking, we don't feel the fire. To ask the Eibusher, help us out, Hashem, give us the fire. And on the other hand, when you see another Jew putting on tefillin, and you're saying to the guy, what am I doing this for? It's a waste of time. To realize there's a fire in that person's neshama, and it's going to come out. It's there. It's
All right.
holy, and will come out.
So
Anyone else have any questions?
maybe what I'm thinking is that, this feeling of the essence of Hashem is the primary motivator, and it has a
Yeah.
physicality. But then I'm saying to myself, okay, why don't we just take that tremendous physicality and give it to the end product of the primary motivator, Hesed, Gevurah, so forth and so on. And then I'm thinking back, then if that is the case, that you make the end products of our behavior, the midos, as physical as the primary motivator, maybe that would cause you to undervalue the primary motivator because you're already seeing it in, wow,
Hold on. Let me translate what you're saying in English.
okay.
You're saying, why isn't the primary motivator, meaning the essence of the neshama, also present in your character?
Well, in the manifestations of your character, justice,
Yes.
ability, yes.
So that's what Rebbe is saying. Rebbe is saying that's what Moshe Rabbeinu was asking Hashem. He's saying to Hashem, what does their physical action have to do with essence and neshama? And Hashem responded to Moshe and revealed essence and neshama. In a similar way, Hashem, the Rebbe is saying to each of us, he's saying that you have to ask Hashem that the primary motivator, the essence of your neshama, should be present. It should be revealed inside of you. You should feel it. You should say, Hashem, I don't feel any connection to who I am, to my true identity. Help me feel this. And the Eibusher responds to a Jew who's wondering, why am I doing these mitzvahs, which seem to be valueless to me? And Hashem reveals the fire of neshama in the end product, in your character, in the way you feel, the way you think, in your persona.
Yeah, because if it were the other way around, for instance, maybe every time we did an act of kindness or every time we did an act of justice, and we felt the same physicality in doing those acts, maybe we'd question where the bond is because we've got that same zing with the pure. I've done the sacrifice, so what do I have to be, linked to who caused me to do it? I've got that physicality itself. I mean, the primary motivator has got to be primary, and I guess that's what makes the secondary manifestations secondary instead of flipping them around. I'll work on that.
I think I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where you're going, but I think that the Rebbe is saying something different. I think the Rebbe is saying is that you have to realize that the essence of your neshama is the essence of your soul powers, and it will help your whole persona. It will help direct your whole persona. It's not just something to deepen your core and your essence. It's also something which has relevance to you as a person. Don't think it just stays in the essence of your neshama. Hashem revealed the coin of fire from the throne of glory and made it have weight and made it have impact. So to the essence of your neshama in every mitzvah, not just in the half coin, but in all mitzvahs, Hashem reveals in every Jew that there's something there from the essence of neshama. You don't necessarily feel it, but you can ask Hashem, I want to feel it. That's what you should ask. Say, Hashem, I want to feel my essence, my neshama. I don't want to just do this. I want to be in touch with this. There's a famous parable of Baal Shem Tov. Baal Shem Tov gave a parable of a silversmith. Someone went to become apprenticed by the silversmith, and he learned everything there is to know about making silver. But he couldn't make the silver. It didn't work. He went back to the guy. He says, it's not working. He says, did he turn the fire on? So in a similar way, the Yid might feel he's doing Torah mitzvahs, but there's no fire in what he's doing. Yeah, and at that point, he's to turn to Hashem to say, Hashem, help me out. I want to feel the fire. And Hashem responds. Hashem shows you the fire. Hashem puts that fire, my primary motivator, into you as a person. You feel that fire. If we have to be like Moses and turn to Hashem and say, I don't feel it, help me out. And then Hashem responds to us and shows us the fire.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm just wondering why we're not feeling the same fire in the secondary, tertiary, quaternary motivators as well. But then
They are, no, every soul power is affected as well.
right. But then if you did that, then the primary would no longer be primary. So maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's.
No, it doesn't matter. No one's looking for titles over here, the primary, secondary, whatever. The essence of the neshama has to permeate every facet of every soul power. And so it's revealed when Hashem responds to us. Hashem reveals the coin of fire in every part of our persona, so that I think in a way that's in sync with my with the way my neshama looks at things. My thoughts, my feelings are in sync with how the essence of my neshama feels and thinks. I think that way. You're having breakfast and someone's passing by and they didn't put on film. So your animal soul says, okay, I'm busy right now. Your neshama is like, oh my gosh, that guy didn't put on film. And so instead of that just being the way your neshama thinks, that's the way you think. I think, wow, how could this guy go up? And I have to, poor guy, he's missing film. Just like you don't want to miss breakfast. You feel that guy's missing breakfast. Poor guy, let me give him breakfast. And it's more than breakfast. It's for the neshama. That becomes the way you think and feel. That's what I was saying. The essence of the neshama becomes the way you think and feel, the way your natural reaction to things is.
Yeah, so it's thoughts and the way you feel and your actions all become in sync with the actions where I'm missing. But now I got it, I think. Your actions also become in sync with your primary motivation.
Even though you may not feel it, that's the way it is. That's the second message. It says when you put on film something that's there. But on the first message, it says the first instruction we get from this is you have to ask Hashem, let me feel, let this be revealed. Let this become part of me. Let the fire that's under the throne of glory be my fire. Let this be me who I am. And this will bring the coming of Mashiach, when we'll actually bring the sacrifice, and Hashem will make a fire on Yerushalayim and build Yerushalayim with fire. All right. Sei gesund, Akon Shabbos, Dr. Bresson, Shabbos Rebel, Litrot.